he gave me my corresponding gate code, 351. So at least I know I'm in the system and my code is 351. And he explained to me that there's a lot of codes in there. There's a lot of people who have left and they haven't been deleted or edited or whatever. But basically, if you want to be in the directory and get your code, you would have to, you know, between now and April 1st, figure that out through Tony, or, you know, I'll eventually learn, or somebody will be able to do that for you after the fact. Question, please.
Just to clarify, currently, you can only take Florida area codes, right? 954.
Currently, it's just area code 954, but the new system, which whenever that might be, because there's a lot of unknowns about that, should be able to accommodate other numbers. So there's newer technology that should help improve the overall system. And the reason why the system needs to be replaced is because it's old. And, you know, technology is always ever increasing. But hold fun on that for a second, okay? So I just want to let you know that, you know, for the time being, that the information on how to get a fob and update the directory is on the bulletin board currently. It happens to be River Shores Condo at Gmail. But, you know, after April 1st, it's probably be best to go to River Terrace MRC, I guess, Gmail, and then I don't know how the chips are going to fall, you know, April 1st or whatever, but I should be able to know how to get that working. Yes, Tony?
Lucky you, the clickers are right there for you.
Oh, excellent. Well, there you go. Okay, perfect. I just need to know, you know, more about programming them, or if they're already programmed, and, you know, all that kind of stuff. Marilyn, yes.
Will there be someone on the club board who will try to address the new system, installing a new system?
Well, Marilyn, that's what we're a little, that's, yeah, can you hold that thought a little bit? Yeah, let me just get through some of the basics here, because we're running out of time, and, you know, when I have more information about the new system, I'll offer that to you. Okay. All right, so that takes care of that. All right, another thing on the list was people wanted to know who's on these boards. Okay, there's a Middle River Clubber board. Who's on the board, and what are their positions? Who's on River Shores board? Who's on River Bend's board? Who's on River Terrace board? So I think it's a good idea that they be on there. That's just my opinion. But I think since we're all sharing this space and we want to know who's who, you know, I think that's just being open and transparent. And how they would like to be contacted, because, all right, so you're on the board, but so what? So how do we find information from you, or, you know, whatever. So whatever email address a current board member would like to be, because like I separated mine. So I recommend that any new board member or current board member, if they haven't already, you know, separate personal from, you know, board member stuff. That's just a recommendation. So, okay, so we went over that, and we went over the phone number, and okay. A lot of people are wondering, how much money we have? Where's it going? Why can't we do this? Why can't we do that? Why can't that be better? Why do we have to settle for this? Well, I mean, you can't have everything, and you can't please everybody. So there's got to be a priority list, and, you know, but I think people in general can accept maybe not getting what they want right away or whatever, if they just have more information. Whether it's, this is going to cost this much, we don't have it, but we'll have it by, you know, this needs to be done. You know, just more transparency and financial accountability. And it's funny because years ago, like in 1990 and 1991, Doris Bean, who we coincidentally bought her place, she had a filing cabinet on the 3rd floor of River Terrace. And I went digging in there, and I'm thinking, there's got to be stuff in here about Main River Club. And I came across some of the things that happened back in 1990 and 1991. I thought, pretty good idea. So back then, and I posted it on the bulletin board back there in her writing, the fact that, you know, each month, or at least quarterly, the financial information of Middle River Club was posted somewhere, or given to somebody, to see, you know, how much money was spent, where it was spent, how it was spent, all that kind of stuff. And I think just people would like to know that. But for whatever reason, who cares, you know? They just want to know more.
Right.
And the fact that, you know, it shows that, you know, the board members and the people that are taking care of y'all are accountable to what they're doing and how they're doing it and why they're doing it and for who they're doing it and for how long they're going to do it for, you know. So anyway, so just that bulletin board's going to serve a lot of just giving people information about various things that might concern them. Progress reports. Now, there's, you know, everybody's, I put a little cute little suggestion box here with little things here, little pen here, a large box. So when I'm on duty, I'm going to have this on the corner of the desk over there. And, you know, you can put whatever you want on there and just, you know, I mean, it's locked, it's private, be anonymous if you want, I don't care. You know, I mean, it's just one of those things where it's a way to communicate of what you want, need, hope for, worry about, whatever. So it's just a little suggestion box. And, okay, I already went over my flexible volunteer, I stress volunteer hours. You know, I figured I'm willing to commit about 12 hours a week, about 3 hours, or 4 hours a day, 3 days a week, some kind of flexible combination. I'll let you know, I'll post it. Now this is regardless of whether, I mean, Tony and Peg have told me that they're not going to be on the board after April 1st for the Middle River Club. Tony is currently the treasurer. Bruce Transky and myself are the only ones that I know of that are, you know, going to remain. So I'm just working with that information. So I offered, since I went to school for business education, even though ultimately I was a flight attendant for most of the time and substituted at the middle school behind the house I lived in. I don't know if that was such a good idea, but anyway, so I stopped doing that in 2012 and bought the place down here. I figured, well, I'd rather be here than in a classroom.
How many times did
It
your
makes
house get
sense.
aged?
Excuse me?
How many times did your house get aged?
None, actually, I was pretty well liked. In fact, I was so well liked that they asked me to sub even on my free periods. So the class day was 8 periods. I got paid for 5, and I had 3 free periods. And since, you know, usually it's hard to get guys to be substitute teachers, they asked me to fill in, and I didn't get any more pay for that. I was like, God, get a gun. I can be pretty crazy sometimes, but, you know, that's okay. What do they say? What doesn't kill you makes you stronger, or something like that. Anyway, okay, onward. Okay. Now, there's a lot of people that weren't at the other meeting that are at this meeting. There's a mixture. There's some, of course, Bruce is, yeah, you want to stand, Bruce? Bruce is a director like I am currently. The board of Middle River Club is president, which we don't have anymore. Treasurer, that's Tony until next week. Peg is the secretary till next week. Bruce and I have been directors with no particular office, but, you know, voting privileges and whatnot. So I figured, well, until the dust settles or we figure out what's going on, you know, Bruce doesn't really want to necessarily work with the numbers in the books or, you know, finance. I said, oh, I can do that. And then Bruce, you know, said, well, okay, well, you know, I guess we should probably have a president at least. So temporarily, we're, you know, expressing our interest in that, but it doesn't mean it's going to turn out that way. So we just gotta start somewhere, basically.
Correct.
So it's
Right.
versus
So
last night.
anyways, yeah. Yes, sir.
So with Tony stepping down and Peg stepping down, obviously River Shores is going to have to, their board will
Right.
have to appoint 3 new people to become part of Middle River Club.
Right.
You know, I for one am really looking forward to working collaboratively with whoever those 3 people are.
Right.
And if you have an interest, you should let your board know.
In fact, funny you bring that up, because that's a perfect segue, because there's probably, don't know, potential MRC board members in the room today. I don't know who you might be, because nobody's identified that. So as far as I think Bruce and I are concerned, it's kind of a crapshoot. So if there's anybody that would like to be on the Middle River Club board from River Shores that's in the room and wants to come up and say something, I mean, or just tell us who you are and how we can live.
Just as long as you keep in mind that they have to be appointed by
Yeah,
the
but I mean,
board.
there's gotta be people that are interested,
Yeah.
that they can, yeah.
I'll do it.
Oh, okay, all right, so,
Taking your minute.
who are you?
Hi, you guys probably know me. I'm Frank Danford, and I'm running for the board. I'd like to get on the MRC board. My things that I want to do is that this is my home. This is where we're gonna live, and I want to make things better. I mean, if we can't fix it, or replace it, or paint it, then that's what I want to do, is make this a better place. And I want to get on the MRC board, and that's why I'm running for the board for River Shores. I can say since I started that I've had a lot of people come over to the house. I've got an open door policy, and I've talked to a lot of people that want to get things cleaned up. And it's not hard. There are several people that will volunteer with me to go around and work on the flowers, the hedges, the grounds itself. And it's not that hard to do. All you gotta do is just pick it up and clean it. You know, it's pretty easy. I learned a lot of that being in the Marine Corps. If it moves, salute it. If it don't, paint it. So that's how it works. So I'm telling you, but that's it. And I'm running for the board. So thank you guys want. I'm here.
Oh, speaking of, yeah. Yes,
I
ma'am.
just wanted to say, I don't think you have to be on the Shores board to represent them on the club. If the board chooses you, you don't have to be a board member. Is that clear? So there might be people here who are not gonna be on the Shores board,
Right.
who are interested in being on the club board representing Shores.
Correct. Yeah, so I'm just, even myself, just curious who might else be interested
Right,
in whatever. I mean, I'm aware of the 7 candidates for the River Shores election, and I put their bios up there. I mean, it actually worked out good, because, Ray put his flyer up there, and I thought, oh, that's a great idea, because it's a community board, it's not my board.
Right.
It's not River Terrace's board, it's not Riverbend's board, it's not River Shores board, it's all the board. So when you put that up there, I thought, that's great, I mean, I met Ray, at Tony's meeting, and I, had a few chats with him, or just waves, I guess you might say, or hi, how are you, kind of thing. But then I thought, well, why don't I put everybody's bio up on the board there? That way, when people come in, or they didn't get the mailing, or whatever, they can go over there and look at it. So everybody's equal opportunity, there it is, okay? So anyways, back with Frank, I mean, look at Basil busted his chops last week. Hours.
in the heat. Yeah.
Like, hours. And it's been nothing was done to it for 3 years. I look back in the paperwork, and I think the last meaningful discussion was like April 19th, 2021. I'm thinking, alrighty then, okay. So I figured, well, Basil said, give me a shot at it. I said, oh, okay, so if you want to do it on your free time, because I know you have a job in River Shores, and you have a job here at the River Club, and if you want to do it for extra money, I'll pay you. But my money. So I did it.
Are you gonna be recompensated for it?
Well, I put in the fee, you know, reimbursed for it, but,
Good.
you know, we'll just see how that goes. I mean, right now, it's out of my hands, you might say, you know, I mean, I don't know, after April first, it might still be out of my hands, I don't know. Yes, sir.
Right over there, it's in your hands now.
Okay, all right, so I guess maybe I'll get reimbursed. So anyway, so, and also on that list, yeah, I'll get, it's just, you know, I painted, the doors, and Frank and Johnny Welch, put the kick plates on there, so, cause those doors were kind of beat up from in and out, and all the doors.
Thank
And then, you know, Steve replaced the reflectors on the dock that were all chipped and broken and all that. He was gonna try to get something that wasn't raised, but they didn't have them available, so he just basically replaced it from what was there already, but, you know, it's better than it was, kind of.
Yes.
Okay, questions? Yes,
What's Bruce's last name?
Turansky.
Grant?
Turansky, T-U-R-R-A-N-S-K-Y.
It's got 15 letters.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Who are you?
I'm Jacqueline.
Stand up, please, and introduce yourself.
Yeah.
There you are. I know who you are, but does everybody?
No?
Ah, very good.
Well, my name is Jacqueline. I live in River Shores, Avon building. And I just want to ask you, Greg, if everybody knows, what are we voting? I mean, is there a president, treasurer, administrative, a
Okay.
committee? I mean, how is that organized? And what is the proposal? Oh, okay,
No, go
okay.
ahead.
I didn't know if everybody knows and if there is a proposal, like whoever is,
Yeah, I mean, that whole process is confusing, I agree, it is confusing. So, this is the Middle River Club, and there's a Middle River Club board. And Fred used to be the president on the Middle River Club board. Tony was the treasurer, or is the treasurer. Peg's the secretary. I'm a director. Bruce is a director, 5 of us. Fred resigned for these reasons. So, as of today, there's still the 4 people. April 1st, Tony and Peg have decided they don't want to be on the Middle River Club board. Bruce and I have decided that we'll stay. Okay? So, April 1st, there'll be 3 vacancies. The vacancies happen to be 3 River Shores representatives, because I represent River Terrace on the board, and Bruce represents River Bend on the board. So the 3 vacancies are River Shores representatives. That's why April 1st, when they have their elections for their board, for their building, those people decide of the people who want to be River Shores representatives on the board, who they want to represent them.
also the board decides.
The board
River
elects.
Shores board, since there's 3 vacancies, River Shores board, whoever gets elected, that team decides who they want representing them at the Middle River Club. Got it?
Perfect, thank you.
Any questions? Because it really is confusing, board this and meeting that, well, who, what, I get it. So, I just want to make that clear. Yes, sir. Who are you?
I'm Tom, I'm from River Bend.
Hi, Tom.
Since there was a discussion about doing work and other things around the property and also the need for funds for that, is there any possibility, I know there might be legality with it, so that's why I'm bringing it up. Is there a possibility to establish like a petty cash or another thing, you know, a type of fund, because I know we would be willing to donate
Yeah.
into the cost that would be needed for like, you know, the fund could be described as a fund to help support.
That's certainly something
you
to
know,
look into, because, I mean,
and, if you
people
have
have
that,
different
we could write a
resources,
check for
right?
that, and then just an idea.
Exactly. Some people, you know, and that'd be financially better off.